Hey, Gemini, intuitive soul coach here with your June 2023 love and family reading. Welcome back to my channel if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. If you are interested in a personal reading or entering into the free monthly reading giveaway, you can find both of those links in the description box below. All right, so Gemini, it looks like you are focusing on being in the moment. You do have the chickens card showing up here. I believe Aries also received this energy. Some of you may be dealing with an Aries. Now, this could be a family member, a friend, or a lover. I sense that there could have been some struggles with inviting the past into the present, or for some of you, focusing too far out into the future. And now you're finding that balance. And when you find this balance, which a lot of you're finding in the month of June, it's going to set you up to a fresh new beginning because you have the eggs. Isn't this interesting here? You have the chicken and the egg showing up here. So definitely a new opportunity coming in. Now, for some of you, Gemini, not all of you, this is only going to resonate with a select few. There certainly could be an opportunity for becoming quite fertile. So if you are wanting children, June could be a month where you find out you're pregnant, or it could even be a family member, a daughter or a daughter-in-law or a sister. Someone may find out that they are very fertile or very pregnant in the month of June, whether it's something new, or someone could also be having a baby as well. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the Empress showing up in your reading. Now, you also have this energy around you, Gemini, with the water jug. This is about creativity and fertility. So this is showing up for you on many different levels when it comes to love, family, and relationships. So for some of you, yes, it's the physical sense of fertility. Now, for others of you that are past childbearing years, or perhaps that's not your focus, I do sense that you're feeling quite fertile with attracting the type of relationships and the type of unions that you seek and that bring you more enjoyment here, because this is about you filling your own jug. This is about fluidity with the water jug as well, because there was some resistance. Now, for a lot of you that are in partnerships, whether this is a spouse or this could even be a connection between you and a child or you and a family member, it's important to focus on the now instead of instead of dragging past arguments, past expectations, or things that no longer serve you or your partner, or it's not relevant, right? There's a fresh start on the horizon here, and I feel you're ready for it. And for a lot of you, you are the one in charge. Gemini, you are the instigator this month, where you're saying, I'm ready to let the past go. I'm ready to open up to this new beginning here. Because some of you may have even felt like you were walking on eggshells and something may have cracked wide open in the past here. So I like that I'm seeing the fresh start in the near future. Let's dive into the overall energy for you, Gemini, in the month of June. And happy birthday to you Geminis out there. So it makes complete sense that you're focusing on being in the moment, because a lot of you are celebrating with friends and family, with loved ones. There could be partnerships that show up. There could be people you haven't seen for quite some time. I also get that you're going to receive, it could be in the form of an email, in the form of a text, it could be a card in the mail, but you're going to receive some sort of blessing or message that takes you by surprise. And it could even be a family member, Gemini, or an old acquaintance that you haven't spoken to for quite some time. And it could even stir up new interaction between you and this person. Now, I'm not talking about an ex from the past coming in. That happens, I understand. But I feel like this could be an old relative or old friend that you haven't spoken with for quite some time, and you just catch up. You feel like you're in the now, in the moment. You're letting bygones be bygones, which is great news, Gemini. All right, what do we have for your main energy? Oh, we have the Death. This is a major transformative time for you. This is a time for you to release everything that's happened in the prior year, because this is your chance for a fresh start, hence your birthday. Even for you Geminis that celebrated in May, June is a power month for you to release the old to make way for new. So you may still feel at times like you're transitioning, but you're preparing yourself for another trip around the sun. And you don't want to repeat patterns, dynamics, habits, or lessons that have shown up prior that may not have been in your highest good. Or maybe you just don't want to repeat them because they're not worth repeating. This is a beautiful time for you to release. So let's take a look for you, Gemini, and see what the challenge is in the month of June and how we can help you overcome it. Now, I sense because you have such a powerful major arcana showing up as the main energy, for some of you, the challenge could be resisting change or letting go of the past, even though we can be ready. Our minds can be navigating in one direction, but yet our soul is saying, all right, time to let that go. But sometimes that overlaps and it can cause friction. It can cause resistance. It's part of the human experience. Release that judgment. Release the need to have everything figured out to a T, right? This is about being in the moment. The Lovers. Here you are, Gemini. So the challenge for you this month, very interesting. The challenge is, some of you, it's trust issues. It's trusting that you're doing the right thing. For others of you, it is connecting to these partnerships because you're still in that in-between stage. Now, for some of you, you could be transitioning into or out of a relationship. It could be moving in together, moving out. For others of you, you're focusing on right here, right now, growing and evolving and thriving with partnerships, with friendships, and with family. But it's still difficult because some of you are hanging on to a betrayal, some indecisiveness, or just some misharmony at times. But the good news is this is showing up in a position that you can flip. You can flip upright. You can attract these partnerships. You can attract someone who is going to be honest, someone who is your partner, your soulmate. This can also be about mending rifts in family dynamics. I mean, the Lovers card here is all about partnerships and making balanced decisions that are in your highest good. Now, some of you, you've known that this was a soul contract, or is in fact a soul contract, whether it is family, blood related or not, or whether it was a marriage, a partnership. But a lot of you are understanding and realizing that this energy, this person, situation, environment, taught you a lot about yourself, because I'm getting here mirrored energy, Gemini. So for a lot of you, you're able to see things for what they are, but you're also able to take accountability and responsibility for the role that you played as well, because it takes two to tango, right? It takes two. And I also get here, now some of you are saying, well, Melissa, how can it take two if some people put in, 100% and the other person doesn't put in any? Well, that's actually quite simple. Sometimes we overgive. We give, and give until we're burnt out, and we don't leave a lot of room for another person to give back in return, or vice versa. So please take the energy as it resonates, because I'm getting the mirrored energy. Now, I don't use this term often because it can be misrepresented, but some of you may be dealing with a twin flame, or someone who, it certainly could be a false flame, but it's mirrored energy nonetheless. So let's take a look here and see what is in your foundation. What is below you here, Gemini? Okay, I do sense some of you may be taking a quick trip or a quick vacation, or you may be taking a weekend getaway. I'm getting, there could even be a hot tub or a pool involved. There could be water. Maybe it's near the stream, the lake, the ocean, whatever this is here for you. Some of you may be planning a weekend getaway. You have this Hermit energy about you, right? You may be an introvert. Geminis can be very social, very out there, but you need time to recoup. You need time to reflect, reevaluate what's going on in your world. There's a process here that takes place, and sometimes it's difficult for other people, Gemini, to understand that you just need to take a step back. And they may take that personally. They may say, well, Gemini's not talking to me. Gemini, they don't want anything to do with me, right? But I feel like this is your own internal process center where you have to do a little bit of soul reflection. When the Hermit shows up, this can be about introspection, soul searching, and gaining the necessary knowledge in order to heal, mend, or move forward in whatever way that looks like for you, Gemini, whether it's moving forward in a relationship, whether it's seeing how you can take, accountability for situations, but also for you to hold up that mirror and say, what can I do differently this time around? I also sense that some of you may be or may have been widowed. For others of you, you may have been on a solo path for quite some time. And for others of you, even if you were in a relationship, you may have pulled away or felt disconnected. I also sense that this is a very spiritual month for you, a very spiritual path. I mean, Gemini, you start out with 3 major arcanas here. This is a big month, and it makes complete sense. For a lot of you, this is a reset button. It is a time for you to say, how can I be more in the moment with my grandchildren, my own children, my friends, my family, my lovers? How can I attract what it is that I seek? By opening your heart up and not worrying about what's went on again in the past and what's too far into the future. That takes your eye off the now. Now, this came up for, I believe, Aries as well, because they received this. Some of you may be diving into meditation. You may be reading books such as The Power of Now, or you're figuring out ways to stay in the moment when people bring in past stuff. You may be having that sense of awareness and saying to them, well, how is that relevant? And I'm also sensing that a lot of you we all go through these phases, but for you, Gemini, you've emotionally matured from a situation, whether it was some childhood wounding, whether it was a relationship that got the best of you, right? Whether it was some big, ginormous transition that a lot of you went through and may still be going through, but this is an opportunity for the evolution of your soul and your emotions as well. So pat yourself on the back, because I do sense here that this is a soul lesson or a human experience that you chose to have, right? But as I always say, we have free will to choose what we want to do with that experience. Do we want to let it bring us to a sense of bitterness or betterness, right? Do you want to become better because of it or bitter? It's up to you. Now, you have here this wisdom, this innate ability to heal. Now, I do feel a lot of you are healers. A lot of you may even maybe you attracted people in the past due to trauma. I'm sure you've all heard of trauma bonding. There could have been codependent dynamics. For a lot of you, there were triggers, and that's why we're seeing the mirror show up here, because you're able to see and face those triggers, those insecurities, those fears, those jealousies, those worries. Now, some of you are saying, Melissa, I don't have any of them. I'm single, right? That could certainly be the case, but I do feel here that you've had to work on some self-healing work. And I say partnerships of all sorts are our biggest opportunities for growth, right? And so sometimes when we're single, we don't always have that opportunity to be challenged, to be triggered, to constantly choose to work, to progress, right? But if it doesn't mean that we can't grow and evolve, but it's how we look at all the relationships. That's why these are family readings as well, because it's not just about love on a romantic sense. This is about how you interact with the people around you, how you embrace friendships, how you treat others, how they treat you. So everything, the whole world is a mirror. That's the law of attraction, right? But you have this healing ability to really manifest and upgrade your vibration to attract what you want into your world. That's why you have the fresh start here. I love this. I'm also getting here, some of you may have made a reference about a spring chicken. Some of you may have said, well, I'm no spring chicken, right? Please take that as it resonates. I love this for you. I mean, some of you, maybe you grew up on a farm as well. I also sense a lot of you are healers, nurturers, mothers, fathers, your parents, right? Or it could be that you've healed and had to deal with a lot of parental energy around the heart, okay? Let's take a look at the past. What's going on here in the past that may still be affecting you, Gemini? Let's look. Okay, so again, a sense of independence. Now, some of you had to grow up. Maybe you were the one that took care of the family. I mean, some of you may have been the youngest, and others of you were the oldest. You had to take care of all the siblings. Some of you are an only child. I mean, it's going to be different for each and every one of you, but the underlying energy is that of independence. So you've had to be independent here. And there's been dynamics that you've wanted to reach out and rely on others, and it actually created a sense of interdependence as well, or codependence. So some of you had latched out because you got tired at times, tired of doing everything yourself. So I feel like you may have attracted relationships where maybe you wore your heart on your sleeve, maybe you wanted something to happen too quickly. For others of you, I'm just sensing here that you want to achieve a sense of fulfillment in relationships, family dynamics, and love situations. Who doesn't, right? That is a very, very powerful energy. But with this 9 of Pentacles showing up, I do sense that there's a feeling of loneliness, emptiness, maybe being single, or others not following through. So there could be a repetitive pattern that even stems from maybe your own father or your own mother, someone not following through with emotional consistency. I also sense some of you, now this is pretty specific, but it may only resonate with a few of you. You may have been around someone who told you many empty, thank you, Spirit, empty promises. They may have said to you, Gemini, I want to marry you someday. Or Gemini, I really want to make this relationship go the distance. Or Gemini, I want to start a family. I want to move in. You're my person. Or whatever it was. It could be something small. It could be something large. But it's almost as if this never happened, or the person didn't follow through, or they made a lot of, they talked the talk but didn't always walk the walk, is what I feel here. And it caused you feeling empty, singled out, or even alone. Now you deserve, as it says, you deserve this reward. You deserve stability. And a lot of you have climbed mountains. You've made it to the top here in an area of your life that has to do with the heart. And I feel like you're ready to fly, right? You're ready to fly. And it's interesting because I was just listening to a podcast the other day. It may have been by one of my favorites, Matthew McConaughey. He's such a spiritual, enlightened being. Who would have known, right? But he talks about how we're constantly striving for happiness. But happiness is something that we earn, right? And joy can be that energy of remaining in a constant of, I don't want to say a constant state of bliss, but we strive to bring things into our world that is a sense of achievement. That creates happiness. And he talks about joy being that feeling of, gratitude for all things. And so there's a difference here. But once we get to this mountain, we look at the top and we say, okay, what next? So there is this energy of evolution, right? We're wanting to strive to be in better relationships, to be better human beings, to heal, to work on the next thing. So I do feel like a lot of you have struggled with some sort of acceptance piece because your happiness may at times depend on what you've accomplished. But if you can really dive into the energy of joy, if you can start living in gratitude for the good and the bad, the highs and the low, the ups and the downs, right? The mountains that you've climbed and the ones that have been a little more difficult, then you can have this sense of appreciation and this well-deserved reward that you truly seek. All right, let's get to the good stuff. What else is coming in here for Gemini? Gemini, what are you manifesting? I also sense with this 9 of Pentacles, some of you were just focused on career in the recent past. And some of you have hit it big in your career, or you were really focused on maybe your side hustle, business plan, or again, career where you didn't have tons of time for love. Maybe you didn't even have tons of time for friendships, relationships. But I sense that that's about to turn because you're going to see that that's very, very important for you, Gemini. You need that connection. You need that I don't want to say validation, but it's good to know and feel wanted and appreciated by people of all kinds, right? Not just lovers or romantic people, friends around you, siblings, parents, if you're lucky enough to still have them here on earth and you get along with them, right? So there's a leveling up here. There's a shifting in dynamics when it does come to the relationships in your world. I feel like you're strengthening the bonds of relationships that you currently have, and the ones that may have been kind of teetering, or the ones that you had to walk on eggshells with, those might be crumbling to replace new ones that are built on a strong, solid foundation. So let's see what you're manifesting. What's in your headspace? What's the potentiality here? What is coming in for you? Oh my, you can't make this up. You have the Sun card, Gemini. This is beautiful. So what did we say? Another trip around the sun. When you have the Sun card show up, you're manifesting abundance, happiness. This literally is the card of being in the moment, right? Because you realize and understand that life is an ebb and flow. I mean, those who don't realize that, they must be stuck under a rock, because we all know that there's highs and lows to life here. And this month is a high for you. So you're not going to let the past wreck the moment, and you're not going to think too far into the future. This is all about you being and enjoying the company of those that you agree to be in their energy, for those that support you, love you, and want to surround you with joy and excitement. Don't wait for the rug to get pulled out from underneath you, Gemini. Don't wait for something bad to happen, right? Don't bring in self-fulfilling prophecies of even situations of the past, right? Because that's a theme here I see. For a lot of you, there is a really powerful truth that's emanating from your heart. And that truth is companionship, connection, love, belonging, friendships, family. This is your truth. That you have the unconditional love, even though it may have felt conditional at times by yourself or by others. But the truth of the matter is here that your light is shining and other people want a piece of that, and vice versa, right? This is a beautiful energy. Let's take a look at what's showing up in the near future. We know what you're manifesting. Let's see how you're manifesting. Let's take a look. High Priestess. Gemini, your intuition is on par. You are highly, highly intuitive here. So listen, okay? I mean, whatever this is for you, it's offering you a sense of freedom, right? It's offering you, I'm going to go back to this death energy. I mean, look at how many, you almost have 3, 4, 5, you have 5 out of 6 major arcanas. This doesn't happen often, okay? You have here, we're going to go back to the death card and the lovers, right? You know that you're going through this transformational period. You know that something is going to be better in the long run, but you're also focusing right now. Okay, your intuition is trying to get your attention, and I actually just did a collective video. I'll link it in the description box. It should be the top video there. You may want to check that collective reading out, but a lot of you, your intuition is calling. Your intuition is trying to get your attention. Are you listening? Because I feel that as soon as you tap in, boom, there's the clarity you seek. Boom, there's the new opportunity. Boom, this is what you need to do to move forward. Now, transitions can be sticky, right? Transitions can be a little difficult at times, but your intuition is leading the path forward, and you have all of the tools accessible. You are able to use your inner wisdom, because this is what you're built upon. You came equipped, Gemini. You have what you need to seek some sort of truth and listen to your higher self in order to move forward. Oh, I'm loving this for you. Wow, I still can't believe these major arcana showing up here. It's a big month. I mean, some of you, your intuition is telling you that some of you have been dreaming of a soulmate. You've been dreaming of someone here. For others of you, the time is right to connect with a family member. Maybe you've had a falling out with, or to disconnect. I mean, on the surface, it's going to be different for each and every one of you. We read the energy. That's what tarot is about here, energy. Let's take a look. What is it that you're feeling? How are you doing? This is all about you. Finding balance. 2 of Pentacles energy. When the 2 of Pentacles shows up, some of you may be finding solutions, finding ways through your intuition to stay calm, to stay peaceful, because you have this built in. A lot of you are so chill and so laid back. You may be saying, Melissa, I'm not chill. I'm not laid back. I can blow up on the drop of a hat. Maybe. But maybe that's part of your soul lesson here, to remain balanced, calm, cool, and collected. It's almost like Matthew McConaughey, right? The hey, or the very chill energy that he brings out. I feel like a lot of you have that deep down. It's just digging into that piece of yourself and remaining calm and listening to the intuition, regardless of what's going on out here. Now, for some of you, you're trying to find balance. You see the ring here. So this can be commitments to your family, commitments to a lover, commitments to yourself. You're trying to balance up maybe work and play. For others of you, timing is at play here. And this is interesting because this came up the other day in a reading as well. They're giving me a song. I don't know who the singer is. I forget who the singer, but the title of the song, or maybe the main lyric, is Between a Rock and a Hard Place. So it's a country song. If you listen to country, or if you listen to this on the radio, some of you may have felt like you were stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I feel like it's the moment of evolution for a lot of you in a relationship that's close to your heart. For a lot of you, it is a lover. For others of you, it is a close family member, tie, or friendship that is part of a soul contract, soul family contract here. And you're choosing to overcome these challenges together to find balance, or you're saying, is the evolution of our relationship, has it hit a peak? Is this the best it can get? And so some of you, yes, you're asking yourselves, but for others of you, you're finding balance on this wheel, and this wheel is going to spin. Sometimes we're going to focus more on commitments here to love, sometimes career. You also have the rose here. So I do feel forgiveness, and I feel healing, and I'm also getting a yellow rose or a yellow flower. That's the solar plexus. So some of you may have taken a few hits to your confidence, but this is about you getting back up and knowing that you are worth it. You are worth, maybe the relationship is worth it, you're saying, or maybe you are worth more happiness, whatever direction that takes you. Trust your intuition here, Gemini. You're finding balance here in all things. And I feel, even though June may be a very busy month for you, make sure you try to balance out, work life, play life, family life. So what that means is if you're on a family picnic, or you're on a family trip or a vacation, or even at maybe a wedding, or I'm also sensing, now this has never come up before, interesting. There could be a baptism as well. There could be a new family member or a baptism. Now, it doesn't have to be the traditional sense of baptism. Some of you are, it could be finding a new spiritual path. It could be for a grown 59-year-old adult, right? So I'm getting here a sense of baptism may look different than the traditional. But I also feel here, it's important for you to spend quality time with your family when it's a family event. Try to shut off the phone, shut off the computer, not work as much while you are spending, obligations here with family, and vice versa. If you are at work, try not to focus on family dynamics, family functions, as well, because you can create a balance between them, but I'm also sensing the overlap, but that can cause more stress than it does good. Okay, when we need to focus on a specific thing, if you look at that wheel, it's compartmentalized. There is somewhat of a boundary between those things. So it's important to find balance within them, but to create a boundary while you're in it. I hope that makes sense. All right, Gemini, what's going on in the environment? What is showing up for you, for your environment in the month of June 2023? What's going on around you? Another card about balance. Beautiful. So this is about patience. It is patience with others, patience with you. Some of you may have found at times that your patience was running thin. That's not a word we love to hear. Even myself, I don't love to be patient, especially when things are going so, quickly, right? This earth has upgraded so much that things can happen quickly, and therefore we expect things to happen quickly. And when it doesn't happen in our timing, we start to throw sometimes a 5-year-old, meltdown or temper tantrum. But I feel like you are finding solutions to this energy here, and you're finding ways to negotiate, right? You're finding ways, this is a temperance, by the way, finding ways to control some extremes in the way that you've dealt with things through emotions, through temper, through maybe excessive partying, excessive impulses. This could be someone around you, because look at that. It almost looks like a mirror, two become one. So this certainly could be twin flame for some of you. Now, I also sense that you were able to see your own faults through the eyes of another, again, with that mirrored energy showing up. But someone around you may have went to extremes in maybe workaholism, substance abuse. They could have drank, they could have partied, stayed out all night. For others of you, this is, someone focusing all of their attention and tipping those scales so much that it's created an imbalance. And now you're wanting to find that balance again and setting healthy boundaries in order for you to come together here. Come together and feel that lover's energy with the challenge for you. Okay, so there is balance coming in here. Compromise, negotiation. There needs to be equal push and pull. There has to be reciprocity. I mean, you can't be the only one that's always putting in the work, and vice versa. Now, I do sense that there's going to be a message, as mentioned earlier, some sort of communication or interaction that comes your way. Now, whether you decide to move forward with it, however you decide to move forward with it, is going to be up to you. But I feel here that this is an opportunity for growth, a big opportunity for growth. And remember, don't be hard on yourself, Gemini. You have this death card, so you are going through a transformation. But there could be, some of you, this could even be a divorce and needing to agree to disagree for the sake of maybe children or family, whatever this is for you. Now, what are your hopes and fears? Okay, thank you, Spirit. Hopes and fears are being on the defense, or someone constantly being defensive, or as we said earlier, walking on eggshells. This is about you choosing your battles. The Seven of Wands showing up in the hopes and fears is about being able to stand up for your beliefs, protect yourself, but you also want to go the distance. Now, you don't want to succumb or to conform to what someone thinks you should be or how you should act or behave. You want to be able to find that, figure it out for yourself, of course, but you don't want to have to close your own thoughts, your mind, your emotions, or energy off to please or make someone else happy. Nor should you even be in a relationship. I don't care if it's family. I don't care if this is, whatever this is for you. If you are in a situation where you feel you cannot be your true authentic self in fear that someone else is going to ridicule, judge, shame, whatever this is here for you, this is something that you may need to look into, take a deep dive, because you don't want to be in that type of situation. You need to do what you need to do to heal from that. Get to the root of the problem and say, okay, why do I feel like I have to tiptoe around this person? What is it that truly is triggering me? And what can I say? How can I use my voice or my expression to work with this energy? And if someone is too difficult, too narrow-minded, or bullheaded to get through to them, that could be, if you still want to continue to make a situation work, bring in professional help. Bring in someone who could have a neutral or mediator type of perspective here to help you overcome and choose these battles. And for others of you, if this is a situation that you've been going through for years, you may say, I'm out, right? I want a new beginning. I want to be in the moment. I want to enjoy my life. So your hopes and fears are valid. I see that. However, it's up to you to make the choice that is in your highest good, for you to trust your intuition, Gemini, and that's coming in very strong. Now, final outcome, you have the Two of Wands. I love the Two of Wands. You're spreading your wings here. When the Two of Wands shows up, this is about you planning your future. Now, I know some of you are saying, oh, Melissa, that's hypocritical. You said be in the moment. Yeah, be in the moment when there's highs of highs. Enjoy the day. Let's say your birthday is, let's see here, May 27th, or we're into June here as well. Let's say it's June 14th, right? June 14th, birthday coming in. Enjoy that day. excuse me, even if it's the day, and even if it's around family, and even if people are just celebrating being in the energy, and maybe they're not normally as happy go lucky as they present themselves on that day, who cares? Just embrace it. Just enjoy it. Don't let the behaviors of their past actions spoil your day, even if it's only for one day, Gemini. Now, this is time for you to spread your wings. So a lot of you are planning your future, but you're staying in the moment, allowing yourself to go towards the journey instead of just getting to the destination. And that's so powerful when we realize that that's what we're doing here on earth. It's not about rushing to the finish line. It's not about all of the, the things that we've accomplished here on earth. It's about what we do along the way. And that's what the Two of Wands is all about. It's about needing to make decisions that are going to bring about your best life, that is going to bring more flow instead of resistance. It's going to embrace change instead of being stuck in situations that you just don't want to be stuck in. I really like the Two of Wands as your final outcome because boy, oh boy, the amount of major arcanas here, including in your environment, I feel like you're staying patient, you're staying level-headed, and you're making choices now that are for you. Even though it's going to affect your family, I feel like you're choosing to do the right thing because you know that the way that you model your behaviors. So for example, let's say you are in a relationship. Let's say there's no touch, there's no love, you're doing your thing, partner's doing their thing, and your children are not seeing the energy of what a relationship should look like. Right? Maybe, I mean, that's worst case, right? Maybe you're over here and this person's over here and you're basically roommates living under the same roof. This is modeling behavior towards your young ones if you have them, or I mean, you could have teenagers. And I feel like you're making choices that are going to be beneficial for you, but also beneficial for those around you, because then you have this sense of, your children can look at you and say, wow, mom decided to make this leap, or dad decided to make this leap. They've worked on it. They couldn't work on it. That's okay. That's part of life. But I see them try, and I see them also choosing themselves and their happiness. So some of you need to hear that. Not all of you are in that situation. Some of you are single, and you're just planning your future. You're saying, this is the year I attract my love, my soulmate. For others of you, this is the year that I bring in a family connection, a family dynamic. For some of you, physical family with the egg showing up here, whether it is a grandchild entering into the family, it could be, your child. I also see that there could be a child spreading their wings, leaving the home. Some of you are becoming empty nesters, right? There could be someone going off to college, buying a home, graduating high school. I also sense that some of you may have someone learning to drive as well. Please take that as it resonates. And someone could also have children that are going back and forth between homes with this Gemini energy. And that can be a challenge for you at times. Certainly trying to maintain that balance, but I sense that there's a really great interaction, or you feel like you're finally on the same page with this person. Now, it doesn't mean you're coming back together, but it just means that you're able to get along. Maybe someone's planning a graduation party and you have to work with your ex to bring this into union, and you say, wow, they're being really generous with their time, with their money, with their thoughts, whatever it is, and you just feel good this month. I like this, Gemini. All right, let's get a message here from the Wisdom of the Oracle, and we'll read the relationship message from the guidebook. What do we have here for Gemini, please? Gemini energy. We have to the sea, card 7. And we also see a 7 here in your reading as well. And 7s are very powerful numbers about spirituality, inner awareness. And we're in a 7 personal year, or global energy year as well. I mean, some of you may even be in a 7 personal year. If you're not sure what personal years are, that is a collective video that I will also link in the description box. To the sea. This is all about being in the flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, and it's all about the natural pattern of events. And the message, Gemini, is this. There are points in a relationship when you have to decide to go with the flow rather than dictate the course you share with another. Can you let go of the need to have things your way and allow the relationship itself, your combined goals and desires to steer the ship? Can you both transcend your personalities and allow the partnership to form its own identity, its own energy? Now is the time to relax and see where this mutual journey leads. Yeah. That's what we talk about here. That's part of the challenge for you with this lover's energy, right? So being able to go with the flow and enjoy the moments, not bring up the past, not worry about where the both of you will be 10 years from now. Just embrace it right now. We miss that point so often. And that's the message for you for the month of June. That is what I have for you, Gemini. I hope it resonates. If so, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, comment, hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in, beautiful souls. Lots of love.